You are listening to the Pompette podcast, the edutainment podcast about lifestyle, wine, and spirits, hosted by Yolanda Shoshana. Let's get this party started. Hey. Thanks so much for tuning into the Pompette podcast. On this episode, I want to talk to you about red wine. That's right. Red wine. Sexy red wine. August 28th is National Red Wine Day. Are you ready? It's a great day to get some red wine in. Well, actually, any day is a good day to get some red wine in. As a matter of fact, statistics show that when people go to drink wine, red wine is the number one choice. If you are a red wine lover, you're in good company. Some celebrities who've been caught with red wine in their glass are Duchess Meghan Markle. As you may know, she loves her some red wine, especially Italian wines, those nice super Tuscan wines and stuff that's, nice and deep and full of berries and all that good stuff. Tracee Ellis Ross, daughter of Diana Ross, star of Blackish, she loves a good red as well. Then Michael Strahan likes a good red. If you are a Giants fan, you know who he is, or maybe you know him from GMA. The Weeknd, quirky, interesting, a little different, but really good songs. He loves red wine as well, especially when he's traveling. And Nick and Vanessa Lachey have been seen snuggling up and having red wine together, which is just cute and a good thing to do if you're a couple, because red wine is sexy. Red wine's been known to put people in the mood, if you know what I'm saying. So, also red wine has been attributed with more health benefits than any other alcohol, though that could change any day because there's always a new study to combat another study. But right now, red wine will give you the most health benefits when you are drinking, and that is due to all of the antioxidants that are in the wine. If you really want to get the best from the antioxidants, you should drink younger red wines, which are good for helping type 2 diabetes and heart disease. Those are some of the health benefits. Also, red wine has anti-cancerous properties, which is great, and it's also been said that red wine is good for lowering stress. I don't think that is a surprise because after work people want to have a glass of red to lower their stress levels, and sometimes people even want a glass of red at work to lower their stress levels, if you know what I mean. So there are some health benefits to a nice glass of red. Of course, drinking in moderation. And like I mentioned before, red wine has been said to get people in the mood. Studies have been done as to why, and there's lots of cinnamony and vanilla notes in red wine, and men love those aromas. Not that women don't, but men really love a good cinnamon and spice smell. Also, there was one study that also said that when a man is drinking red wine, it makes a man sexier to women, which I think is very interesting. I now need to pay more attention next time I see a guy drinking some red wine. I hadn't really thought about it, but maybe it looks like he knows what he's doing. So I have some red wine suggestions. Many of you have a go-to, but as I always say on these wine holidays, it's always good to try something new and try something different, because you might discover a new wine in a different region, and it'll help you branch out. It'll help you expand your palate, and that's always good because, red wine is made everywhere at this point. Every state in the U.S. is making wine, and then you have wine from other countries. There's so many wines and so little time, and do yourself a favor of giving your palate some wine adventures. Like, maybe you can't afford to travel everywhere, but why not try a wine from Greece or from Spain? They make great red wine, and do it that way. So some of my picks are from various places and spaces. The first selection I want to tell you about is this lovely little table wine that I just love, and I talk about it all the time. It's La Vieille Ferme. It's this French wine. It's a French table wine, but it's so great for every day. The La Vieille Ferme Rouge, which has notes of fruit and spice. And it's got a chicken on the label. They've just got such cute little marketing with the chicken. And it's all about, ferme means farm in French. So that's where the chicken concept comes from. So it's like old farm. So they want you to feel like you're getting your wine off of an old farm, French, you know. But the wine is only $9.99, and I've seen it as low as $8.99. But it's perfect for every day. You can have it with cheese, you can have it with burgers, you can have it with pizza. You can just have it to sip. It's good for sipping. It's light enough, but also it's like a medium body. Light enough, yet heavy enough to go really great with food. And I just think you'll love it. It's just one of my favorite, and it's from Rhone Valley. Just a pure delight, and I like all the wines in that line. So, you know, even if you aren't a red wine drinker, the Rosé and the Blanc are also really good. So next up is a wine from Sting. Some of you may not even know that Sting has his own wines. Sting and Trudy, his wife, have been vacationing and spending time in Italy for years. They have a villa. So the wine is actually produced and made on their villa in Italy. It's an organic wine. It's called Roxanne. Sting has named all of his wines after his songs, some of his favorite songs. So you'll know some of the titles of his wines when you see them. But Roxanne is a blend, and it's really good for the fall because it's got those aromas of cherries and blackberries and a little bit of floral, just really nice, deep red. And it'll go great with aged cheese and something nice and homey from the crock pot, maybe a little cornbread, you know, blue cheese and red wine and all that good stuff. Just really a delight. So I highly recommend you check that out. They're doing some really good stuff with their wines. Then this next wine I tried when I was on my way to a press trip in Idaho. I had to spend a night in Spokane, Washington. And I didn't know anything about Spokane except from what I heard on Frasier. So basically that was nothing. But Spokane and Idaho hit each other. So they feature a lot of Idaho and Washington wine. So it's a very interesting little wine region. So I went to the bar at the hotel and I tried La Ecole 41's Cabernet Sauvignon, and I fell in love with it. The wine is produced in Walla Walla, Washington. If you're not familiar with Walla Walla, they make some very good wines. Washington State has delicious wines. I don't think they get the love that they deserve. But it's such a great wine, I had to bring a bottle home with me. I liked it that much. And it's just absolutely wonderful. It's a beautiful red, dark fruit, coffee, spices, and it's just so wonderful. I can't say enough about this wine. And it'll cost you, though, it's a little higher than the other wines I've suggested. It's like $35. And I see the prices going up. So it's one of those wines you could keep for a few years, but you won't want to because it's so good. I remember the first sip I had, I was like, whoop! But La Ecole 41 is known for making really great wines. They own one of the oldest wineries in the area, and it's a family-owned winery. So definitely check that out, especially if you want to try something from Washington State. Then I have the San Simone Pinot Noir, which is from the San Antonio Winery. That is a red I will actually be drinking on Red Wine Day myself, which I'm a little excited about. It's produced in Monterey, California. This is a new wine to me as well. As I said, try new stuff. I did not know much about this winery. I'm really excited now to know about them because they've been around for a while. I want to say their website said 1917. So it is a handcrafted wine aged for 10 months and ripe flavors of raspberry and strawberries and cinnamon, oak spice, and red fruit. You know, all my favorite things in a bottle. And it's around $20. So If you're a California wine drinker, which a lot of people are, this might be a wine that you might want to check out and find out more about, or even their whole winery. They've got lots of different wine selections on their website because they own, you know, one winery will own smaller different labels. They've got a lot of different labels, so you have plenty to choose from. And last but not least is the Francis Ford Coppola Red Blend. It took me a while to get on board with Francis Ford Coppola, I have to admit, because I think I tried some stuff that I just didn't like. His less expensive wines are just not my favorite. They don't do anything for me, but the higher end stuff is far better, and I find that I really appreciate them. But the Francis Ford Coppola Red Blend is part of the Diamond Collection, and it's the Scarlet label. And it's inspired by Scarlett O'Hara from Gone with the Wind. And it's a 4-grape blend, and it's aged in French oak for 10 months. It's got a deep purple color with plum, cherries, and blackberries, and it's just absolutely wonderful. It was sent to me as part of the Coppola books and bottles. They have a interesting wine book club where they pair books with wine, and it's part of that. So if you like to read and you like wine, this might be a really good one for you, because you can get the book and get the wine and sip the wine and read the book. And if you're a fan of movies, of course, Francis Ford Coppola's wines are all about that. And if you're a Scarlett O'Hara fan, because, you know, she was a badass, especially for that time. I mean, she got it together. She depended a little bit on men, and then she became her own woman. So this is a good wine for you as well. I'm actually going to pair this with a Camembert burger. I can't wait. I'm having this one tonight. So those are some of my picks. There, like I said, there's so many reds, so little time, and explore. Try something new, try something from a different region, because everybody's making good stuff these days, and they have stuff to be proud of. So branch out. If you don't drink local wines, maybe you drink a local wine on Red Wine Day. If you haven't tried a different region, maybe you try a different region, or a region you've never even heard of, because within these lovely countries are these teeny tiny wine regions that you may not know about. And that's fun, because somebody put a lot of love in that bottle. Winemakers work so hard. People don't realize how hard they work. It's more than just picking grapes and putting it in a bottle. There's just so much that goes into it. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and love. So next time you are enjoying a glass of wine, just remember all the love that was put in that bottle for you to enjoy. Thanks so much for tuning in, and until next time, peace, love, and cheers.